Hey, welcome back, regular viewers. Oh, geez, what a mess there. Looks like we got some loose UV resin on the table today. We'll have to clean that up here. But today we're going to talk about chair bits. So my neighbors were throwing out a chair, or at least I think they were throwing it out. I was on their front porch, and there was a table next to it and a sandwich on the table. So I assumed they were throwing it out, but they were awful upset when I started cutting these pieces off of it. I'm going to say they were throwing it out, regardless. So I have made lures before with chair legs. I made this here pencil popper that has a rattle in it that's not as loud as I like. And I've been on a pencil popper kick, I guess. But we're going to make something different today. I'm going to go fishing with a friend of mine tomorrow. And I want to use a popping cork. So now you're probably asking yourself, what is a popping cork? Unless you're, fish in the South a lot, you may not know. This is a popping. Well, this is a plethora of popping cork. Anyway, this is several popping corks, all of which I have found whilst fishing. People buy these and often leave them for me floating in the water. That's why this one is all dusty. It just needs to be cleaned up. That's a rattle cork. That's a slip cork. And these are more traditional popping corks. And now they're all tied up. But if I can take one apart out of this here mess, bear with me. Okay, back to where we were. So what it is we have a bobber here, basically, a floating cork, as it were. And it has a stopper, and it has a little swivel that you tie onto. And it can do this and make all sorts of noises. It chugs, and it rattles. Okay, and this weight is really heavy, so it can cast really well. And then it's got a leader line down here, woo! And down the bottom of it, we've got a little jig head that you put your soft plastic on, or a piece of bait, or what have you. Sometimes they'll just run a regular hook on it, like this little guy right here that I didn't know had a hook on it until I untangled this mess. And then it surprised me. Anyway, so I don't know who originally invented it. I read about there was a guide in Matagorda area that came up with a slip cork deal, and that was so that he could have something that his customers could cast a little easier and then see. So the bobber obviously floats, and your presentation is set at a predetermined depth here. Right? So that's roughly probably about 20 inches or so. Okay? It doesn't get, if you know the depth of water you're approximately fishing, you can keep it off the bottom, just above the bottom, that kind of thing. And the bites are very obvious because your bobber, just like, catching sunfish or whatever, your bobber goes down and, yada, yada, yada. So, anyway, these are boring, though, and I think we can do better. I had, and they have another fatal flaw, which is the reason that we're here today. Good work, regular guy. Way to stay on task. Oh, thank you so much. Who are you talking to? Anyway, so this one you can see is rather beat up, okay? And one of the reasons it's beat up, and so is this one right here, is because every now and then a fish will come up and grab the cork and not the bait, right? So, and usually in my, and this one here has been really beat up there. It's actually got some teeth marks right here. In my experience, it's usually the biggest fish of the day that you see come up and grab the cork. Super frustrating, right? Because there's no chance to hook up. There's nothing up here to hook it with. There we go. Woo. Okay. So my solution back many moons ago was this here popper that I put together. Well, no, I didn't put this together. This is a store-bought popper that I found, of course, and repainted. I used a glitter paint job on there. I used another kind of epoxy resin which faded and yellowed. This is yellow, but it's not supposed to be this yellow. But anyway, and then I would put a single hook on the back, and I tied off to this swivel right here. Then I would tie the leader line for my jig head, whatever, this guy right here, off to the swivel. You're explaining this really poorly, guy. And then I would tie my fishing line to this right here. So I would cast it out, and then I could pop the popping cork. And then every now and then, a big trout or redfish would hit this, and some of the times I would hook them up on this hook. Why just a single hook, guy? I tried it with a treble hook, and it too often got messed up. and more often than not, the single hook won't. So it's kind of like a cheap insurance to have this off the back. But I always wanted to make a really nice looking one out of my neighbor's old chair legs because they're not home. So anyway, you know, and like I said, I've made pencil poppers out of them, but I think I'm not that far away from what I'd like to do with this guy into making it into a better version of this guy right here. So let's do that today and scrap this really long explanation. All right, let's clean up the piece here that we're going to use. So we're not going to use this end right here. You know, the normal person would throw this away, but you know, maybe someday, somewhere, we'll make something about it. And this one, this side is broken right here, so we just got to cut that little end off. Beautiful. All right, so we got our bits cut down the way we want them. We got 8 1/4 inches here, and 8 1/4 inches here. Wow, how did we do that? Weird. Anyway, the popping cork in the end is not going to be this long. We're gonna show you as we go. Okay? Yes, that's what we'll do. We'll do exactly that. All right. Before I forget, though, I want to put a cup on the ends of these for the poppageness. Generally want to hold this super sharp drill bit right in your hand. That stinks. That like walked way off of there. Might have to start over because I don't know if I can salvage that. Might have to cut that little lip off. Oh well. Here's our friend All. Ooh, good, thank you. Okay, so that is the eye we're going to use on these. Yes, these popping corks will have an eye. And so we need to make a, right now, before we get too far ahead, I want to cut a hole on either side for the eye. So we'll do that over here at the drill press. All right, let's see where we're at now. So we've got our eyes all ready for the project. We got the nose honed out, maybe a little too far. We'll fix it. I want it to have an internal weight in the rear so that we got a really good pop out of it, and I want it to sit tail heavy. And I'll explain that later why. So just a guesstimation, we're gonna cut it right here. Yeah, we'll do there instead, not this one, not this one. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to tell you what kind of wood this is. Free, that's what it was. Okay. Back over to the vise to cut them down some more. Okay, so we got our pieces. So for our next trick, we're gonna have to drill this out, and we're gonna have to whittle this down so that these are gonna fit in here like a joint. And then this side over here, we're gonna hollow out, and we're gonna put in some lead weights, okay? I like the lead weights better than like BBs because it's a more low tone than a high pitched tone. That's the size we need. We're gonna need the drill press for this, for sure. All right, so we got our parts here. They're not perfectly square or round, I guess, as you can see, but close enough for the regular guy like me. And now we need to drill out this end here and take it down on the outside so that it fits inside of here, okay? And then we'll see how much more of this length we actually need. More drilling, yay! Oh, wait. Right, so we've got our various carved out portions. This one came out a little better than this one, except for we went a little too deep, and obviously it wasn't quite centered, so it started to come out the side, but we shall fix that through a process called more glue. All right. Yeah, and that's just you add more glue until your mistake is gone. There's our joint. Ammo slammo. Beautiful. Let's check this guy out. All right, that one fits together pretty good. We're going to have to repair this area right here, but we're going to hide that under some stuff, and no one will ever know except all the tens of people that watch this video. Let's see where we're at lengthwise now. 7 inches, but some more is going to come off. 7.5 inches. Okay. Let's figure out how much is going to come off now. All right. Now it's time for precision tools. Allegedly. There we go. All right, so that's where the bottom of that is. So we will cut it off here. So that we have enough to work with. That one's really short. Maybe we want that long. No, we'll leave it short. Okay, so we're just going to cut this dog off right there. I probably don't even need to draw the line there, do I? Anyway, back over there. Okay. Just kidding. Turns out if you tighten the vise, it works better. Pro tip. All right, so demonstrating what I'm talking about here. Dump a bunch of lead balls out in your hand for no particular reason. Okay, good. That was perfect. Good. So they go everywhere. Right. All right. Good. Anyway. Oh, yeah. What are these? Are these 1/8 ounce or something? They don't even say. They're number 6. Whatever that is. I could weigh them, but, you know, why start now? So we'll put that many in there. So it's got a rattle. And it should sink tail first. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we got to twist this around until it lines up. Ish. Okay. All right, just give me 4. Good, which is 1 already in there, so that would be 5. Good. Got our rattle, got our poppy section, got our eye section. It's time to put these back together and start the finishing process. I'm going to use gel control super glue just to hold them together. That is not going to be the final, thing that holds these together. There's going to be a lot more glue than that. You know what? I was thinking, hold on, wait, pause. Everybody stop. Stop. Let me seal the interior of this with super glue. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep you over there. All right, seal the interior of these with super glue. Well, that's the exterior, but you know what I mean. Oh, my fingers are gonna stick to it because it's leaking out the side. Let me get a paper towel now before I really mess up things. Cool. And then just throw your project on the floor. Before we get all stuck to it, we're going to set it with Mercury Super Glue Accelerator. All right, and I'm going to seal this here with super glue. Seal that hole that I made. That way we can sand it down later and make it look like it fits. Where's the accelerator? Accelerate. I need baking soda in there. I should have got it. Spray more in there just in case the inside didn't set. But at least that way we can sand on it now and Hopefully it won't have a big hole in it, and we can seal it and whatnot, and correct the mistake. The happy accident, as it were. I finished this up. I sanded it down a little bit and ground it down and applied some more super glue just to fix that because it was driving me bananas. Okay, where were we? 1, 2, 3. I think this one had 5. 4, 5. It does now. And again, this isn't what is ultimately going to hold this together. This is what is going to hold this together now. Am I putting this together in the wrong one? Now I can't remember. I think I am, but... Okay, so we're going to switch midstream. Attention to detail. I'm sure that's why so many people like to watch this channel, is my attention to detail. Can't believe I did that. Hello. Okay, so that, for all intents and purposes now, belongs to that. Beautiful. I can't believe I did that. Oh, man. I was looking at like, man, why doesn't the color look the same anymore? Because it's not, guy. Okay, now for my next trick, I'll get that tiny lead weight. Some glue on the collar here. Next step. All right, so I'm going to go back to the belt sander and kind of just sand this down a little bit, get it to be a little more so it looks like it's doesn't have such a huge lump in the middle. And we're almost done. We're coming down to the finishing touches here. We are going to put a little round edge on this one. This one's already got a round edge. We'll just clean it up a little bit. You'll see. Be super excited. All right, so we're not going to get too picky with this, but I do want to try to transition that just a little bit better. So we're going to use our body filler, which is baking soda. The other thing too is if I accidentally missed an area, I'm trying to seal it up, this will add another layer of sealant to it as well. We are coming right along here. Got our rattles, we got our shape mostly. I mean, I could fill this a little bit more, but you know, you got the picture. It's mostly the same shape. I ended up taking that knuckle off of the end of this here. It was driving me crazy, and I think we got a better product. So let's see where we're at now. Got to do it so it's on camera. We are down to just below 6 inches on this guy. And this is 4.5. Okay, reasonable size. I think we're ready for hook hangers. Did I say that already? I think I did. Okay, stop talking again. All right, so hook hangers, but we always need our friend All. Oh, thank you. Man, you're so good. All right. Only all my friends were that nice. These we can't go as far because remember we got the chamber we don't want to drill into. But even if we do, it's going to be sealed with the hook hanger anyway. So I actually have some made up ahead of time. But I do have to make some. I want some bigger eyed ones for the front. So let's get those made up. Okay, so we got these eyes done. Now, how long do we need to cut this guy? All right, we are ready to put the final touches on this. So when I make these, I'll take them over to the grinder and I will try to get them focused maybe. And I will try to grind a point on them just so they go in just a skosh better. We're just gonna sand this forever with a little bit of 220 because that's what I could find, and just clean it up a little bit before we put some rattle can paint on it. All right? Yep, we're still sanding, but it's coming out nice. I think we're almost done. Just put a little chamfer on the edge here. That, I think, is that, guys. Let's get a coat of spray paint on there just to seal her up, and then we'll go on to finishing. All right, today we're going to use this fluorescent paint as our primer because I want to get rid of it because this was the most depressing, unimpressive paint ever. It is nowhere near close to this. It's just yellow, and it's an ugly yellow. All right, ugly color paint, take one. All right, now we'll let that dry. All right, so again, fluorescent mustard. I don't get it. Does not appear very fluorescent to me. Now, I know it didn't have a white base on it, but this was pretty white, and that still looks like mustard to me. So we're gonna, but it did make a great primer coat, and we're gonna do now some black satin here for the next step, and you'll see why. Hey, regular viewers, I wanted you to check this out. So my youngest regular assistant's bike was broken, and the seat broke on it, and the tire was wore out, and the pedals were breaking. And we found this bike over here the other day on the side of the road and brought that home. And the eldest regular assistant, along with the youngest regular assistant, made this bike out of it by themselves. I'm very impressed. They took the old brakes, cable brakes off of this one that were all broken up, and they put the back tire from that bike over onto this one, switched the tire out, put the back wheel on it so that this bike has pedal brakes now, like that. Right? Do they work? Yeah. All right. So now they're just going to air up the tires and take it for a test drive. They have done this in the time that I built these two Popping Corks this week, and I just thought they did a great job, and I can't wait to see them try it. All right. Let me show you how we're going to finish these Popping Corks with Cricut. All right, so this is a holographic mosaic sticker that we got from Hobby the Lobby, like Joey the Lemur. What?
Wait. Who?
All right, look out, young lady. Okay, so this is what we're going to finish our lure with, is kind of like wrapping paper here. So let's get our lures and see if they're ready to finish. All right, let's try this. This paint came out like super weird. It's dry, but it's like powdered on there. Weird. so we're going to paint this one up right here. The other one was having a little bit of trouble drying. So we're just going to show you what we're going to paint on this one. And I'll do the other one off camera. Just believe me, it'll be the same. All right. All right, what the first coat of paint has showed me is I need some more trimming on this plastic hologram stuff here. So I'm going to take care of that real quick and show you what we got left. All right, so I trimmed it up a little bit, got rid of some of the silliness that was hanging out, and reapplied the white. I wiped down pieces that I wanted shiny with just some rubbing alcohol here to accentuate where I wanted it. And the white parts there are going to get their final coat. You'll see what that is right now. All right, we got our orange coat on there. And again, we're going to wipe off the overspray. I had to switch to holding it with the vice grips because I just had to move it around too much for it to be in the little clampy do there. That's proper popping cork color. Now for the bottom. All right, because this is a cork, it really doesn't have a top and bottom. So, but I wanted a shiny bit and bright bits. The reason that they're usually, or that I fathom that they're usually so brightly colored is just so ease of the user to see them in the water. So, wherever they land. We'll let that dry, and then we'll glue on the eyes. And hopefully the other one will be ready. But I think we got the effect we're looking for. It's bright. And it rattles. Oh, I do need a red snoot. I we need eyes and a clear coat, and we're donezos. We're in the home stretch, people. Time to put on the eyes and the clear coat. This one I messed up the wrap because I wasn't fully paying attention. I started in the wrong place. So this side looks right, and this side looks like spots. I guess it's more of a trout side. But so much for symmetry. That just went out the window. But hopefully the redfish and or trouts and or flounders or anything of the like won't be paying attention. Well, won't notice the difference. Hopefully they'll still hit it though. Ugh. Oh, why'd you touch it, guy? You knew that was the wrong answer. Just leave it be. Don't touch it. Never touch it. It's like the rule with your regular eyeball. Like, you don't want to touch it. Okay, let's let that dry in there a second. We'll go get our clear coat ready with Ozbang. Whammo, already ready. We're not going to put any sparkle farkles in it at all, just a clear coat. We're going to let the paint and the sparkle farkle speak for themselves. Almost ready. Just letting that clear coat set. Okay, so while those are finishing up with the UV resin setting, we're going to finish up the rest of this. This popping cork is going to have a 5/0 circle hook on the back, or an octopus hook, not a circle hook. with some pretty heavy duty split rings. These are the 1/4 or 1/8 ounce jig heads that we're using, and I'm going to do a fluorocarbon leader with them. Polymer knot like always, because it's the most bestest knot. Okay, like so. Make that much line right there, and we'll tie a simple loop knot. That actually might be a little too much line here. That looks like about 3 feet. We probably want a little less. Or like 2 feet. There we go. We'll go with 2 feet. These jig heads I found on the Amazons. They have a little willow leaf blade underneath. It really doesn't spin, but every now and then it kind of just flickers. Adds just a little bit of flashaboo. Does it help? I don't know. It was neat, and it doesn't bother me. So I did one of my really early videos. We can put a link in the description of that one if you want to see how I really cheaply made these jig heads into weedless jig heads. I'll put a link in the description below. All right, let us finish this project. We started this at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think it's about 8:30 right now. So can't say a wonder because that's somebody else, but this is like same day. No, we're not going to get to go fishing with it today either, so I guess that wouldn't count anyway. But you get the picture. We did it pretty quick. Dirty and cheap over here on the regular guy show. Now for my next trick, I will get this split ring to cooperate. This is a big split ring and a big hook, so it's a lot of competing problems going on right here. The struggle was real with that one. Holy smokes. Okay, so we got our one big meat hook on the back. Not 100% hookup ratio, I understand, but better than getting a hit on a popping cork and not getting anything at all. So, next up, we're going to install our little lure here. Now that is doubled onto itself onto there, and we're tied off the front of it. Why are we tied off the front of it? Because now it's going to go through the water like a walk the doggy do, because the weight's back here and this really isn't going to matter on it, so you shall see. Okay, second verse, same as the first. Beautiful. Look at that, look at that. Just like that, we are ready to go fishing. Hopefully. Next time you see these, it should be on the water. All right, so here's the popping cork. Check out that hypnotic walk the dog action. Bet your popping cork can't do that. Sorry about the quality here. I was trying to film and walk the dog at the same time. On the new popping cork contraption. Nice. Little trout, but it's a fish. On this popping cork. We're going to check it out. You live to fight another day. Oi! A tiny croaker here. Sure. We're going to go see if we got ourselves a keeper flounder from a friend here. All right. Get back in the water and grow up. All right, throw them in. Thank you. Yeah, toss them. That's just right where we got him too, funny enough. Baby, come on. Daddy. Let's see what he's got here.
Oh, it's red, I think.
Oh, no!
You sorry sack of turd! You sorry son of a motherless goat.
Big gross fish of the day on our popping cork here. At least it's a big one. Thank you. Okay, well, welcome back. We're back from our swim test. And now the exciting conclusion of this week's video. All right, so these worked. They worked well. This one has a problem, though. In full disclosure, apparently it's got a leak somewhere because it stopped being a popping cork and started being a subsurface cork. So it started to sink. I think there's probably that right there. I'm guessing that wasn't sealed. I didn't get an excellent clear coat on them. It started to come off, as you can see right here. So, but those are all issues that we can correct. But the concept is solid. So I ended up catching several fish on them. My friend I went fishing with caught several fish on them here. Again, we were just using a real light 8-ounce jig head on here. We didn't have anything hit the cork this time, so we didn't have to test this theory. But, you know, not bad for a couple chair legs. And I think it took me 4 or 5 hours to whip them up. So there you go. Making your own popping corks is super easy to do, and I recommend you try it. Give it a go, and let us know how it works out for you. You can send us an email right here to our regularly occurring email address right here. All right, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We'd love it if you subscribed and leave us a comment about these popping corks or any kind like that, like you've made. All right, I'm gonna rework these and make them work a little bit better. All right, that's all we got this week. Thank you so much, and you stay regular. Hey, what are you kids doing?